Hello, everybody. I'll give it that few minutes to let people log on. Big update. I've taken a few hours to contemplate Drew Barnes's announcement through Calgary Sun. And we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to give my 2 cents on it as I've looked at this before. Now, for everybody watching, I see people are starting to come on. Drew Barnes is presenting that Jason Kenney, upon the end of his term and on election day, to hold a referendum of independence on that day. And I'm going to give you my breakdown of that as somebody who holds the electoral list right here in Alberta from the last election. Why, if done properly, that may be the absolute best thing to do. We're going to go through that now. Now, the electoral list is every legal registered voter in Alberta. When you look at poll day, now, there's some rules to making a successful referendum, meaning everybody has to be notified and by certified mail. So Drew Barnes would have to get Jason Kenney to agree to it at least 90 days before the election period or the election day, which means the writ drop, all that before that. We call that the campaign period, that 3-month window. Right at the start, when it's time to get ready for campaigning, Jason Kenney would have to register mail out to every Albertan an in-depth letter regarding a referendum of independence. Now, what I'm saying, if you're going to do it on the same day as poll day, also have that available at every single polling office for all those on the electoral list. I have the electoral list. I wanted to do this. I wanted permission from Jason Kenney, Rachel Notley, and there's one more, it's not coming to me right now, who also had the power to determine whether I'd be allowed to use that electoral list that way. None of them gave me permission. Surprise, surprise. So I like what Drew's presenting here, but it's got to be a legitimate step further. And like I said, that's the 3 months before the actual election day. Jason Kenney would have to send out registered letters to every single Albertan on the electoral list. And as well at every polling station for the vote for the 2023 election on that day, it should be made available along with your ability to cast your vote at every polling station, the question on the referendum of independence. That's what would absolutely have to be done to be legitimate. Now, I don't think Jason's going to do it personally, honestly. I think it's great that Drew's asking for that, but I've hammered on the political establishment and it's been an absolute no. In fact, Rachel Notley has called for my end and that I should absolutely be witch hunted, I guess, and anyone who follows me or is into independence, we should all be scourged away, dealt with, as though Rachel Notley, as a lawyer, seems to think that somehow making the appearance that we're illegal or going against the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, more so going against human rights as is in international law, that somehow she's got full authority to usurp all of these laws throughout our world and right here in Canada. And she's a lawyer. Absolutely should be disbarred. Absolutely. And I know John Carpe, a good friend of mine, has caught her before using her bar in a very inappropriate manner that really these things should be brought up with the faculty of law, and she should be put to review on whether she should be allowed to practice law anymore. And a lot of politicians think that regardless they get into politics, they can say and do anything and it's their right, when reality is it's not their right. And especially if you're a lawyer and you hold a bar and you start talking legality and it's absolutely false or illegal, it should cost you your bar. Now, there's nothing that can be done to Rachel Notley politically because she's in that official opposition role. And with that comes accountability, as in all our elected officials. Zero accountability in Canada. We are absolutely 100% an autocrat, an autocratic system. It will always be that way until we, the people, A, separate the province of Alberta, B, establish a provincial constitution enshrining how to be governed in the province, and C, absolutely amending, dismembering, or redesigning the Canadian Constitution. Tall order indeed, but that's the road I'm going to embark on. I like what Drew Barnes has rolled out here. It sounds great if it's done absolutely appropriately and they go through the international community. So I guess my next move will be to reach out to Drew Barnes and ask him to absolutely put his name on a letter to the UNSC as I embark on the International Court of Justice as well with our federal and provincial governments. But what I'd like to see is Drew to absolutely commit his name to the 5 permanent members of the UNSC, that he wishes to see this referendum on election day and go through the absolute rules of the UNSC, so that way Canada can't interfere or subject us to any kind of colonial power that is supposed to be illegal in this world. That's my 2 bits today. Please, everybody, share this out. It's a great amount of information for everybody. I know for my loyal followers, I have gone into detail on this before, and absolutely Rachel Notley completely discarded us, threw us under the bus. Sorry, David Kahn, Liberal Party, Alberta Liberal Party, that was the other one who absolutely had the full electoral list, and I needed his permission as well, too, as leader of a registered party. But not David Kahn, even though he did answer me. He said, well, we'll see what the other parties say. And, of course, Rachel Notley absolutely had me outcasted. And then she further called on Jason Kenney to do a whole bunch more to me, which they've all blocked and deleted me on social media anyway, as well as our Alberta academics, even though they have zero ties to any world academics. But apparently that's the colonial power of Canada. We don't have any aristocracy here, but we have problems with our academics attached to government, as well as the autocracy of our government system. And that's all parties, absolutely all parties. So please, everybody, get this shared out. Get it out to groups. I've tagged Drew Barnes, and you know what? I'm really busy this week now with a whole bunch of projects I got to do. I got to get it ready for Ontario and get my place done up here. Lots to do. But get it shared out. I will absolutely tomorrow morning in business hours call Drew Barnes' office. I will present all this, but the best thing you can do is share, get it out there. If we're going to do this, let's absolutely do it right, not make a scam of it, and absolutely commit to doing the right thing. And that requires Drew Barnes to come forward with me upon the world stage. He's an elected official. Come forward, Drew Barnes. That's what we need you to do here. You want to do it right? If you mean what you say, I will take you on that adventure. Put your name down on the letter, and I'll make sure you go forward, and all of you can join in that letter too. Every Albertan. So share. I will call Drew's office tomorrow. I will get a hold of him one way or another, even if that is right at the Edmonton legislature, if he's going in to do any of that. I don't know. We'll see. Get it shared out. Get as many on board, and then I'll make up a letter, and we'll all sign on again, just as I've done 2 other times past. And that's what we need, everybody. So share it, get it out there, get to Drew Barnes. Thank you.